Good morning, everyone. I thought we could do a quick podcast slash YouTube slash Facebook Live on recommit as many times as it takes. So if you have thought about the idea of committing to something, we've talked about that a lot, like when you have finally agreed in your mind that you are going to do something. That is just the process of called committing, and you do the action, boom, you've committed, and you move forward, right? However, this concept of recommit is something that is super critical to actually having success. So that's what we're talking about today. Again, I'm Joy Anderson. Welcome to the Preschool All-Stars podcast. Okay, so I want to go back to story time. I am now 3 weeks into my marathon training for my 5th marathon. Again, reminder that I did 4 marathons back in like 2016 to 2018 and then also a 2021. But I have yet to do my 5th, and it's taken me 6 years to get to this point it'll take me 6 years from 2020 to finally February 2026 is the big day for the 5th marathon. So I am 3 weeks into that commitment. But here's the kicker. If you watched my previous or listened, whatever, to my previous one, you heard it was basically right after I had done my, I'd been running for a week and I had done my the magic mile, my very first long run. And it was like, oh crap, am I really going to do this? And my head started messing with me. Now I'm 3 weeks in, and this is kind of where I want to talk about the process of recommitment, because anytime you make a choice and do the thing, like I said, your brain's going to mess with you, but you have the opportunity to recommit every single day, every single minute, every single week, whatever it is. It's a process of recommittal. And so what does that look like in my life? And let's see if you can relate this to yours. What that looks like to me is that every time I look at my calendar, I remind myself that I have a Tuesday and Thursday short 30-minute run and a Saturday long run. I am looking at that calendar. I'm anticipating it. And then every night before I go to bed, I am setting those alarms, and I am consciously telling myself that when I wake up tomorrow at 5 a.m., I will go for said run. So I am recommitting again that evening, okay? And in the morning, as soon as that alarm goes off, I'm not pushing snooze. I am recommitting to myself. I am turning off the alarm and getting right up out of bed. And I'll tell you, the words that actually come out of my head is, let's go run. Okay. Or if it's a workout day and it's leg day, oh my gosh, I say leg day and in my head, right? And I get out of bed. Before I even get out of bed, those are the first things I say to myself, because I am setting that intention and recommitting in that second that this is what we are going to do for the next 30 minutes. So I get out. Great. But that's, that time comes and goes, right? Where I have my run, and then it's the rest of the day, or it's the rest of 2 days before I need to run again. And I tell you, it over and over, my mind says, hey, but you know what? Maybe this is hard, or maybe I would like to eat some different foods, or, or maybe ... right? And I have to ponder these thoughts, ponder these emotions, and work through them to say, you know what, my brain is going to reset tomorrow morning. I might start realizing that toward the evening, toward the afternoon, especially right after school's out, right? Or toward the evening, my desire to recommit to this plan may be wavering, and I will start questioning the plans I had in the morning, to have a great day, etc. And so it starts faltering a bit. But one of the things, there's many things that help me to kind of get out of these thoughts. One of them is to say to myself, my brain resets in the morning, so make it till morning, right? Because it does. You wake up and it's like, it's a new day, and your brain is fresh with inspiration and motivation and willpower and all the things. But here's the thing we know about willpower and motivation: they fade, they expire. You only have so much. And so it's setting these intentions about recommitting every time. And so how it says recommit as long as it takes, right? As many times as it takes. And honestly, I would even say it's not even as many times as it takes. It's just all the time, recommit all the time. So let's bring this back to you real quick about your journey, okay? Because this was just my journey, a quick little, story time into how things are going with me. However, before we get there, actually, there's a couple more things, okay? And then we're going to tie this right back to preschool. So the other thing about recommitting for me is as I start progressing on, my level of commitment goes deeper every week, okay? Even minutely deeper, okay? And of course, then some weeks it'll just go really deep, but, and some weeks I might falter and whatever, okay? But the trajectory does tilt deeper. I'm like, why are we going down? Okay, the trajectory tilts deeper into setting the roots, growing those roots, for a stronger tree, we could call it, of success. Look at that analogy go. Okay, so right now you've planted this little baby seed and you're nurturing it and you've committed, you put the little seed in the ground, but there's no fruit, okay? Wow, we're just gonna go deep into this analogy. By the way, it is very hot in this car. 115 yesterday in Arizona, yay us. So I am here without any AC. We will see how long I last. I do have 9 minutes till a staff meeting, so I got 9 minutes with you. Anywho, you planted the seed. There is literally no fruit. There is nothing growing out of this thing. You just committed. You just took action. You jumped into Preschool All-Stars. Amazing. You just started that 30-day challenge. Stuff is starting to sprout a little bit. You're starting to see a little bit of things happening, okay? Trying to get a little excited. You guys remember when we do these things in preschool, or maybe you did them in elementary school, but you'd put a seed in like a plastic bag, or even I've seen them in a old CD case that you can see through it, and you put a paper towel that's wet inside with that seed, and you zip it up and you plant, you tape it to the window, and soon enough, you start seeing these roots growing out of the seed. So this is kind of what I'm contemplating here. Anyways, the roots start to grow. Great. Amazing. But it requires that constant water, right? Water and sunlight. It requires these things. So like if that little paper towel gets all dried up because you forget about it and you don't open up the 30-day challenge again, you never jump into the Facebook group again, you stop opening my emails, you stop listening to the podcast for inspiration and motivation, that little paper towel starts drying up. And soon enough, you will see that number one, those roots don't grow anymore. And number two, everything starts shriveling up and it literally will die. That is your dream. Your dream will die. Okay. It is just the truth. And here's what's scary. That seed, I don't know seeds very well, but I think that once the seed has died, it's dead, right? Like it doesn't come back to life. There might be different seeds, but I think that is the case. Anywho, so if it is dead, then you have to say, am I willing to let it die? Because many people will come into our world. They have said, yes, they have committed. This has been my dream all the time. And they'll jump into Preschool All-Stars and they will start doing their little things. And for whatever reason, they stop nourishing it. They stop doing 30-day challenge, Facebook group, all the things. And they start, finding themselves far, far away. They'll cancel Preschool All-Stars. And guess what? They will tell themselves, this didn't work. I couldn't do it, right? And that literally will kill their dream in such a manner they will never try again. Now that is scary to me. That is scary to me. That is why I constantly tell you, hey, don't stop. Keep going. Recommit, right? And so we're going to go to a deeper and deeper level. So here we go. We got the analogy going. And so in the case of marathon running, or in the case when I was starting my training at the very first for 5K, cool. All I needed was just I had some tennis shoes laying around. So I just went out and started running with these random tennis shoes. Ouch. They started hurting. I needed better tennis shoes. Okay. Here I strap on better tennis shoes. For you, that might be getting a better computer. Some of you had really old computers or laptops. You had to upgrade. So you start getting the materials and tools that you need. For me, I needed a watch. I don't have it right now, but I needed a running watch that I could track my intervals. I'm using all these words. Intervals are the things where every 30 seconds it cues me to either run or walk. And so I don't run the whole time. I am running and walking, friends. Every 30 seconds it's switched. And you might even call my run a jog. I don't care. I still might call myself a runner because that's what I believe myself to be. Okay. So anyways, but I needed a watch that would trigger that. That is a tool. That is the thing that will help me go progress through this journey. Like if I don't have this, my run walks, like I'm going to be scrambling, like I'm trying to program it into my phone. It's going to be so like very annoying and just like ghetto, okay? Versus, and it's kind of like with the hub for you, right? Where you need this tech, right? These tools. You can try to like go ghetto and do your website on Wix, and you can try to like figure out how to send emails with, I guess, MailChimp, and like try to integrate all of these gazillion things. Or you can just get one tool, which is the hub, and boom, everything is there. My watch is that tool. It has my intervals. It tells me my pace. It tells me how long my run has been. It tells me that miles run, what it anticipates me, which is, by the way, I literally since 2016, just realized that it has this feature where I can toggle one button and all of a sudden I can see that miles pace. I'm like, I have never figured that out before. I just saw like the pace that I was running at the very moment. So I'm excited about that. It's kind of like the hub. Like all of a sudden you'll discover a new feature and you're like, what? That's cool. Okay. Anyways, I diverge. What is the word? I don't know. I don't know that it was either of those words. So that is great. So that's that. But then you need other things, right? You need these things for when the elements come. And in running, we have rain and sleet and snow and sun and anything under the sun that you might come into. So you have to have protection for yourself. So I had to buy the gloves and the arm thingies that you stick on your arm that make your arms warm. And I had to buy this running jacket and the longer running pants, and etc. Right? So I had to buy those things. And for you, that is Preschool All-Stars, that when those times come, you have the support right there so that you don't have to get caught in all the feels, the emotions, the ups and downs of being a business owner and a mom and a wife and a woman, caught up in all these things that is just a lot. Okay. It's all these things you have not been before. Business owner, I mean. Preschool teacher, director, owner. I mean, it's a lot, right? So that's there. Then you have to bring those things in, right? So you keep Preschool All-Stars. I kept all my running gear and actually I started in 2015. Since 2015, I kept all my running gear this entire time, even when I was not at my prime where I wanted to run every single move. I mean, I don't know. I think we've moved like 8 times or something. I have lugged my container. I have one container of my running gear. I have lugged it to every single house. And I look at that and I'm like, I should just get rid of it. I'm not even running. It's been years since I don't even think I will run again. I've got women in Preschool All-Stars who have been with us since day one. They have been with us since, when did we open the doors in Preschool All-Stars? 2020? I don't know. 2019? I literally don't remember. But since the very first moment we opened, they've been with us. And they have not left, okay? Or the very moment that they jumped in, they have not left, period, whenever that time was, because they know that this is their safety net. They know that this is their haven. They know that this is their people. This is their tribe, the tribe that they never knew that they needed, but we are here. And we are keeping this freaking dream alive. That's the point. That's the reason I lugged all my gear from home to home. That was my dream. Like, I am a runner, right? You are a teacher. You are a mother. You love serving children. Like, this is us at our core. And so, like, you don't just give that stuff away. You don't just leave Preschool All-Stars to wither up and die over there, right? Oh, sorry. That got weird. To have your dream wither up and die. But you stay. I forgot to mention like running shoes, right? Running shoes for me was like, this is how I go faster, okay? This is how I don't get injured. This is how I don't get hurt. You know, things like that. You need marketing. You need all the foundations. You have to have the core. That's your preschool in a box, right? Like it helps you go faster. Everything's done for you. Also, lastly, and this is also Preschool in a box, you go get the mentor and the step-by-step training. For me, that was the Galloway training program where I had a group of people and an exact step-by-step process to get me from zero running to the marathon. And I did not, this is what you do. And if you had a problem, if you got injured, which I did, here you'd get into the group Preschool All-Stars and you would ask the question, hey, this is what happened. What do I do now? I have that same support system, so same type of mentorship, etc. Also, that's built into Preschool in a Box, where for that 30-day challenge, which you get to sample your 30-day challenge, you get a sample Preschool in a Box, stages 1 and 2. That is your step-by-step training right there. And we continue, of course, in Preschool in a Box. So I've got to go. I got that staff meeting, but I am so excited for you. Recommit all the time. Don't stop. There's a reason why we have a 30-day window for you to get Preschool in a Box, for you to get Hub, both of them 50% off in your first 30 days as a Preschool All-Star. The reason why is because we want you to recommit. And we know that you might not have the belief in yourself yet on day 1 to commit at a deeper level. But every time you jump into Preschool All-Stars, your commitment level is here. Awesome. You're recommitting when you open that 30-day challenge. You're recommitting and going deeper into this, building your tree and the roots of this successful preschool. When you continue your 30-day challenge, when you get Preschool in a Box, when you get Hub, when you get both of those 50% off every single time that you post in the Preschool All-Stars Facebook group, you listen to a podcast or watch a YouTube video, you are setting these roots up for success. You are deepening them. You are pouring into them, pouring that water in, giving it sunlight, giving yourself all the things that you need to be successful. So friends, I hope this served you, and we'll talk to you soon.